Hello, 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 loves. My name is Quantum Singer. You're watching my nappy roots, and if you got a little time, you might as well stick around. Welcome back to Nappy Roots, everyone. So this video, I wanted to do a tutorial on the side part bun, aka the Tyra Banks B.K.A, my signature protective style. I love to do a side part bun because I have a big forehead, and having a side part just gently takes the corner off my big forehead. And it's very simple, but not as simple as you might think. There's definitely a technique involved so that you don't have any lumps, any bumps, or anything like that. So I didn't put any holding spray, any spritz, no gel, no jam, no jelly, no none of that, no mousse, nothing. My hair is very, very soft. The only thing that's holding it in place and keeping it in the shape that it's in is I molded it down with my silk scarf, and it will keep the shape that you give it. When you mold your hair, when it's wet, what you've done is that you've broken the hydrogen bonds, and so hair is pliable so that when it's wet it will take whatever shape you give it, and if it dries in that shape it'll stay that way. So I can do a number of things with my hair like this. If I want to, I could bring down the front, I could flat iron the front piece, I could curl it, give it a flip, do whatever. Your imagination can once again run wild. Once you have the basic style down, you can do whatever you want. You could go in the back and you can add some synthetic braid hair to make this bun even bigger, as big as you want. And I have that look coming up real soon. That is going to be called the Bantu knot bun. So I hope you all enjoy that. Stay tuned for the clips coming up, and I'm going to show you all about this tutorial. So right now my hair is parted in the middle because that's the way that I detangle it. So I'm going to start this side part bun by making a hard, very defined, very straight part on the side. So what I've done this morning is that I did a hot oil treatment for several hours, and then I co-washed out the hot oil treatment with my favorite conditioner for heat styling, which is the Aphogee's 2-minute reconstructor. I felt like I could use a little protein treatment, a little protein boost. So what I do after that is I take the side part and I make a part from the side part to right behind my ear, and then I will section that off with a rubber band just to get it out of the way. Putting it in a rubber band makes it a little bit easier to deal with. My hair has gotten really long, so I don't need it flopping in my face while I'm trying to do the rest of it. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to use that part as a guide, and I'm going to take that part and go all the way down to right behind my ear. The further back you take the part, the bigger your swoop will be in the front, and the smaller your bun will be in the back. So you can make your part, your side part, longer or shorter. It's all up to you depending on what you want to do. So I'm going to take my wide tooth comb and I'm going to go in the back and start at the very bottom of my head and slowly comb out and detangle out all of my hair, starting from the bottom and working my way up slowly so that there are no lumps, there are no bumps, because my hair is wet right now, and if it is wet with lumps and bumps and it dries that way, you will see the lumps and the bumps in the finished style, and all of that takes away from the overall look. When I do my buns, I like them to be very, very neat and very, very perfect, very, very precise, and very, very flat. I don't like to have any lumps or any bumps showing in my style. So I'm going to just continue to work all the way up and comb all of that hair backward. And if you run into any tangles along the way, do not rip through them. You want to stop and go underneath the tangle and slowly detangle it out and work through that. just gathering all of my hair into a low ponytail in the back. So I'm going to work with my paddle brush to get the crown of my head very, very smooth and very flat. Just cleaning it up, making it look as neat as possible. Careful not to go into your hair that's in the ponytail because you'll pull it. So I'm, always being very gentle. Always being very gentle. That's definitely always key. So then I took out my hair on both sides and I'm going to brush with my paddle brush my hair back and around to mold it down to my head. Continuing to feel for any lumps or any bumps, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to brush that out and mold it down, and I'm going to take it down and around behind my ear. Making sure that there's no bumps. I felt a little tangle at the top. Whenever you manipulate your hair, you want to make sure you're checking for tangles, because every time you manipulate it, every time you move it, there will be something that tangles or catches. So I'm moving all of my hair down into a low ponytail that I'm going to make nice and tight, but not super tight. Be careful with how tight you make the ponytail. Tension is definitely important. You want to make sure that it's not too much tension on your hair, but enough that it will stay. So I'm going to just take it and I'm going to divide it in half and pull it to make it nice and tight in the middle. And then I'm going to do each side to make sure the sides are nice and tight, but not too tight. Don't give yourself a headache, people. So you have your side part going on, and you could wear it in a ponytail like that if you want, but I am going to twist my hair into a bun, and the way that I do that is I divide my ponytail in half, and then I divide each half into half, and then I twist it and I wrap it around and secure it with a rubber band. And then on the other side, I wrap it in the opposite direction or the same direction, just depending on what type of a look I want. If I wrap them both in the same direction, my bun will be smaller. If I wrap them in opposite directions, my bun will be bigger. So that is definitely all up to you of what sort of look you want. And also I have coming up, I'm going to do a Bantu knot bun. It's going to be a giant bun like this, but I'm going to make it giant by adding some synthetic braid hair to it to show you how to make it bigger, which is also a fun look that I have coming up. So I'm just finishing up here, just twisting my hair, and then I'm going to at the end twist it around in the opposite direction for some added style, because I want the bun to be big. Make it nice and tight so it doesn't come loose, and wrap it in the opposite direction. Make sure you twist those ends. You don't want them to stick out. And I go underneath the bun and I kind of tuck the ends underneath the bun so they don't stick out. And I secure it nice and tight with a rubber band. It's very simple, but I wanted to do this tutorial because it's not as simple as just parting your hair and just brushing it around. You definitely have to part it into sections and be very mindful of how you want it to turn out at the end, because how it looks wet is how it will look dry. So I tie that down with a nice satin scarf to mold my hair to my head. Well, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, love. So stay tuned for Nappy Roots, because there's always, always, always much, much more on the way. Bye.